Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Lightworker, and on this channel, I help chosen ones, targeted individuals, star seeds, earth angels, and lightworkers awaken, align, and ascend into their highest purpose. If you're ready to raise your frequency, become stronger spiritually, and create the life that is aligned with your highest self, you're in the right place. All right? Today, we're talking about energetic boundaries, one of the most important spiritual skills you can ever learn. Energetic boundaries, protecting your peace without closing your heart. Okay? What are energetic boundaries? Okay, let me put it like this. Everything is energy. Every conversation is energy. Every environment is energy. Every relationship is an exchange of energy. Your thoughts carry energy. Your emotions carry even more energy. Energetic boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about protecting your peace so you can become the person God created you to be. Healthy boundaries are an act of self respect in the highest regard. Now, why this matters? Imagine your energy like a battery on your phone, yeah? Every interaction either charges you or drains you. Some people leave you inspired, others leave you exhausted. If you never protect your energy, eventually your battery reaches zero. When your energy is low, you become reactive, you become anxious, you lose motivation, your intuition becomes harder to hear, you stop feeling connected to your purpose. Protecting your energy allows you to show up as your best self. Yeah. How to know when someone is draining your fucking energy. Alright, this is how you know these motherfuckers be energy vampires and shit. Alright? These motherfuckers you need to cut the fuck out of your life real quick. 100%. 100. Alright? Ask yourself this. Do I feel lighter after spending time with them during the energy exchange? Or do I feel exhausted? Do I feel inspired or do I feel guilty? Do I feel accepted or do I feel constantly judged? Your body usually knows before your mind does. Pay attention to how you feel. Very important. Very, very important. Here are some common energy drains. Constant negativity. You know when you be around a motherfucker and they be like, oh, that's fucking this cunt did this and this fucker did that, and they're gossiping and they're talking shit and they're running around just fucking looking at everything except themselves in a negative, cynical manner. Them motherfuckers be energy draining vampire ass motherfuckers. Alright, straight up. Gossiping. That's a big one. Especially for energy vampires and how they play on people. They pin two empaths against each other by gossiping about one of the empaths to the other empath, and then the other empath's got the wrong idea about the other empath, and next thing you know, these two empaths got a problem with each other, when really the problem is the fucking energy vampire in between the two of them. 100%. Yeah? Drama. You ever be around someone that's always like, drama, this, drama, that, and it just constantly causing drama. Energy vampire, straight up. Fear. Here's the thing. Fear, you feel within yourself. Firstly, fear is an illusion. Secondly, fear creates a lot of drainage in terms of your energy because it takes up a lot of energy to ruminate mentally over that fear, which a lot of people do, stuck in the lower self, the lower frequencies of fear. Okay? Toxic relationship. Now, this is a big one. All energy vampires will be toxic as fuck. They'd be hiding it like a motherfucker, but they'd be toxic as fuck. Okay? Yeah, you gotta be careful with these energy vampires. They're bad leeches. Real bad. You know what I mean? Like I said in the prior video, they're harder to slay than demons. Because they just leech. And they do it behind a fucking yes man mask and all the rest of this bullshit. But yeah, I do not like energy vampires. I tell you what, you know? Low frequency adrenochrome drinking motherfuckers. Fucked up. Anyway, so yeah, toxic relationships, that's a biggie. If you're in a toxic relationship, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out, man. Shit. Alright, addiction. Now, addiction, addiction is similar to fear because addiction and fear both create an obsession if they're not dealt with. Okay? And the problem is, it's like a cycle of obsession. Yeah, until you break that cycle of obsession and replace it with something that's positive for you to get obsessed about, because obsession will happen whether you're actively acting on a negative addiction or a positive addiction. You're still going to have an addiction, because if you're like me and you are prone to be having a predisposition to addictive tendencies, you will get obsessed over things you love to do regardless of what it is, as long as you love to do it. And if it's positive for you, that's all right. I mean, there will come a time where you need to pull back a bit and get a bit of balance around it, because it might be consuming you and draining you a bit too much. But you're able to deal with that as long as it's productive and good for the collective of humanity and harm to none. Okay, but using drugs, using alcohol, gambling, overeating, like I do now. Yes, I'm an overeating motherfucker. I quit the drugs, I put down the spoon, picked up the fork, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, now I'm still dealing with that now. After this, I'm gonna go up to the gym and do a real half-assed fucking gym session. But I'm still gonna go and do that because I promised myself I would. Yeah, I just don't know how to do gym too hectically at the moment because I'm still new to it. So I'm just easing myself into it and working with what I know how to do, which is fuck all, but that's all right, because I'm going to learn more as I attempt to, practice that fuck all knowledge. And that's how life works for me today. Yeah. So addiction is a tricky one, because addiction can really consume you. It can really leave you in chains, and you can really have an addiction that you wish to God you didn't have, and you still act every day out on that addiction to fulfill your desires surrounding that addiction because you are addicted. Yeah, it's a really it's really sad, self-hateful thing to be in a negative addiction. Okay. Now, everything you can get addicted to, anything. If you can think of it, you can get addicted to it. It's about being addicted to things that are positive and finding balance in your life, so that you're not fully 100% 24 hours a day obsessing and addicted to that one thing. You find balance in your life, so you're able to cater to your friends, cater to yourself, cater to your family, cater to the people you love, still find the things you need to do, and still find some time to be productive in that productive addiction. Okay, I'm not saying all addictions are bad. What I'm saying is, if the addiction gets overwhelmingly controlling of your life and overwhelmingly obsessive for you to focus on, you need to pull back from that. And anything can become like that if you like it and you get enveloped by it, and like obsession forms naturally for a lot of people that like what they're focusing on. Okay, especially if they're dedicated to creating something from what they like doing. What they focus on. If they obsess over what they focus on and it's positive for them, and they're dedicated to doing something productive with that focus and obsession, they'll get really good things done. But they still need to find balance in their life. Yeah, negative addictions are fucked. They're the things I call them life stealers, not addictions, life stealers. Okay, because I realized something, and this took me 36 years to realize in my life. Yeah, I could have anything I want in the world, or I can have my drug addiction. And between the ages of 16, 17 to 36, I chose that addiction to drugs. And probably the last 10 years, I knew the two options were available. I still chose the drugs. That's how hard addiction to drugs is to get off. And gambling's probably harder to get off. And alcohol's probably harder to get off as well. But alcohol is also a drug. And if you think about the way it affects your brain, so is gambling. They're all drugs. It's just ingested drugs. Gambling's not included in that. Okay, but gambling has run the stats. Okay, drug addiction, accidental overdoses or suicidal overdoses or death by misadventure. 7 people, I think, a day or a week. I don't know the exact number. It's either a day die from in Australia. 7 people a day, I think, die from drug overdose. Maybe it's a week, but I'm pretty sure it's a day. Suicide, 9 people a day, I'm pretty sure, or a week. But I'm pretty sure these statistics are daily. Yeah, that's Australia-wide. Yeah, that's pretty shocking. But the addiction with the highest level of suicide attached to the addiction is gambling, and the addiction that's substance-based that cause the most amount of physical trauma and psychological trauma to the human body is alcohol. So if you sum that up, all three of those addictions are very nasty, and they all have their own ways of fucking up a human being. But they're all very similar. They all offer you everything and give you nothing. It's a dopamine rush in the brain. It's all an illusion. Yeah? This is... and the saddest thing is, these companies, these fucking satanic companies, they pay, well-renowned psychologists to market that shit. To market it, So it's more attractive to make the gambling machines light up and that shit. And the alcohol, part of social society construct, isn't it? Especially in Australia, mate. Love our beers. Yeah. Well, say that to a fucking 60-year-old man. If he's still drinking fucking a case every day, he's gonna die pretty soon. That's the facts. Yeah? You see any 60-year-olds that use fucking meth or heroin? No, because they're all dead. They're the facts. Alright? So there are three things that, if you suffer with these addictions, you need to nib them in the butt. And the quicker you nib them in the butt, being honest with yourself and having responsibility for your own health and your own well-being, and having self-care in place and self-discipline and self-respect, right? You can change your whole life. And look, I'll put it this way. It's not a choice and it's not a disease. It's a choice that becomes a disease, okay? That's the way I view addiction, okay? It starts as a choice and it becomes a disease. But the choice is still there throughout the disease. No matter how hard the choice gets to make, the choice is still there. And that's what I believe is the factors of addiction. And I'm not saying everyday people choose. I know what it's like to use drugs, use alcohol and gamble against my will. Against my desire. Because they were my only coping mechanisms at the time, and I was going through a lot of stuff. And that realistically is all justifications. Because truth be known, I wasn't willing to show myself enough self-respect and enough self-care to stop doing those things. When I learnt the beauty and the power of having self-respect, self-discipline, self-care, and I put that into action, and I trusted in the people around me enough that wanted good things for me, to trust what they say, I was able to develop a disgust for addiction. Yeah? A disgust for drug addiction. A disgust, not for people who have addictions. Okay, I love all people. Even fucked up people, still love them, because people aren't the behaviour. Their behaviour is their behaviour. People are still people. Yeah? But what I'm trying to say is, addiction is one of the hardest things to overcome in a human's life if they have one. But once they overcome it, they realize there's not much that they cannot do. And you get so much strength from that and so much power that most people that step in your way trying to fuck your life up can't even touch you. The strength you gain from overcoming an addiction and refraining from acting on that addiction on a daily basis to be able to have the rest of your life happy and well. Not everything will work out for you. Things will be fucked up on a regular basis, but you'll be able to overcome those things, because compared to overcoming that obsessive addiction that you were so trapped in, most problems are fucking nothing. Yeah? And you're able to be present for the things that really do matter, like your family, your friends, your loved ones, your passions. You're not spending all your money on fucking crack or fucking heroin or fucking alcohol, and you're able to spend money on your passions, and fulfill your life's greatest desires, your life's biggest ambitions, because of the fact that you got that money in your pocket to do so. And you can do that happily because you spent, you know how much an 8-ball costs. Spend the same amount of money on a music video if you're a musician, you know what I mean? You get a mad video. It's still a budget video, but it'd be a sick budget video. And that's just one example, yeah? And the point I'm trying to make is, okay, my heart really goes out to anyone suffering from addiction, okay? It really does, because I know what it's like. But the thing you must know is you're not alone. There are places where you can go to get assistance and get help. And there are things you can put in your place on a daily basis that stop the addiction from being an obsessive pattern that you keep circling in your life. Yeah. Anyway, I'll move on. A few more common energy drains. Social media overload. Doom scrolling. You know, when you be on there, Facebook Marketplace and bad for them. Like, what do I want? I spend 4 hours scrolling all this shit up. No, I'm never going to use. Never going to buy, but they look cool. You know what I mean? Because they're cool looking pictures of e-scooters that I'll never fuck. I'm way too fat to ride an e-scooter. You know what I'm saying? Fucking. Well, I keep looking at them up like I'm going to buy me an e-scooter. You know, just shit like that. You know, and yeah. So social media overload. That's a big one. So if you suffer with social media, I would suggest picking dedicated time of your day where you put your phone away from yourself. Maybe during your meditation, maybe your self-care in the morning practices, you know. It doesn't have to be for a long period of time, 15, 20, 30 minutes. But, I mean, hopefully longer than 10 minutes. If you can't go longer than 10 minutes a day without your phone in your hand, there's something really wrong, okay? Something really wrong with that picture, okay? I mean, I struggle, but a lot of my ambitions involve me using my phone, and I also communicate with a whole community of people from different communities, multiple communities of people from different communities that all come together for a common purpose, and that's self-care and well-being on different levels. So I don't mind being connected to my phone, but I do practice periods of time, generally half an hour to an hour a day, where I leave my phone on charge, and I'm one side of the house there's my phone, the other side of the house where I'm at doing my thing, and it's not when I'm doing housework, it's when I'm doing leisure stuff, so I'm not sitting there on my phone while it's important to not doom scroll, and the other thing is when I notice I'm doom scrolling, because I do it, I don't notice I'm doing it, but when my meditation skills kick in and I bring myself back into the present, I'm like, fuck, I'm doom scrolling. How long have I been doom scrolling for? It's like, I won't even go into what it's like. Your eyes all squaring at you, and then fucking what I do is I put down the phone and I go pick up one of my knowledge books. One of my books I read to learn from. Or sometimes I get lazy and I'm reading an ebook. But the minute I know what I do because I don't like reading, okay? I'm good at it. I do it every day, but I don't like reading unless I'm really into what I'm reading, which generally takes some convincing because I got ADD and, things get boring real quick. But by the way, when I say I got ADD, what I'm saying is I'm neurodivergent, okay? I'm not saying I got a mental health diagnosis, because mental health diagnosis is just a perception of the mind that psychology has labeled. I don't agree with mental health diagnoses. I've been labeled with all kinds of mental health shit, but realistically, I'm a multi-dimensional motherfucker that was put through hell and back, and I'm still here. Still, still good of heart, still standing, still aligned, still doing me. I'm proud of the man I am today, and I wouldn't be as strong as the man I am today as if I didn't go through all the hardships I went through. So I give gratitude to all those fucking hardships, even though some of them were just fucking so wrong. So fucking wrong. But, some of the shit that I was put through as a kid, some of the shit I was put through as an adult, it's so fucking wrong. Government involved, fucking everything. You think, you name it, I've been through it, I've been through it, or I can introduce you to one of my friends who's been through it, you know what I mean? So, I got a fair bit of street knowledge, you know what I'm saying? I've been through some shit, you know what I mean? And it's good. It's good. I went through a lot of that stuff so I could have the knowledge I have now, And I'm street. I'm not textbook, I learn more from textbooks, but I never do my shit textbook. That's, I like to find balance in between the two, But a lot of my knowledge, in fact, I say 90% of my knowledge is all street. It's all learn as I went, I experience it. I know it. I can adjust my life to either utilize those tools or avoid those tools, situations, and people to stay balanced and stay aligned. Because I've awakened. I don't think you can. I'm sure you can go into your lower self, but once you wake up in a spiritual manner, you can't really unawaken yourself. You can try and numb yourself with heaps of drugs. I tried that, but it doesn't really work. You know what I mean? It doesn't really work. It just makes you more hyper aware, and that's not good. Anyway, so another thing that's really bad for energy drain is news overload. The news is full of shit. Okay, bad news is bad news sucks. But the news on the TV it's all full of shit. Okay, it's all got an agenda. It's all scripted. It comes from there's levels to this shit. The knowledge we are fed is based on our clearance level, based on our job. If you were a civilian, what you know is fuck all compared to what a intelligence agent would know. Okay, and they're two completely different stories of the same fucking thing. Yeah? So what we're told is true is not fucking true. Yeah? Even the people in intelligence agencies, unless they got a high enough clearance, aren't told what's true. Only the motherfuckers at the top, not half top, not 3/4 top, at the top, know the fucking truth. Yeah? And if you can imagine something to be real, it probably fucking is real. I'll just leave it there. But news is bullshit. News you see on the TV, news you read in the fucking newspaper is all caca. It's all bullshit. Okay, it's all bullshit. 100%. Some of the shit that I watched on the news, I've never seen so much fucking misguided, mistold, mistruths in my fucking mischievous self. From these fucking TVs, TV news reporters and shit. Just talk blah, 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 bullshit, I call bullshit on that. It's 100%. I stand by that. Okay, so people who constantly take but never give. That's another big energy drain. Because if you're not getting anything from the energy you're putting into someone, stop putting the energy into them straight up. And remember, not every person who enters your life is meant to stay forever. Not every person that enters your life is meant to be in your life at all. Remember that. Some people are lessons. Others are blessings. No doubt. Now, boundaries are not selfish, yeah? They're not selfish. Many people feel guilty saying no. But saying yes to everything and everyone often means saying no to yourself. Boundaries don't mean I don't love you. They mean I love myself enough to protect my peace. I'll say that again. Boundaries don't mean I don't love you. They mean I love myself enough to protect my peace. You can be kind while still being firm. And that's what that there is the key to boundaries. What I just said there, key to boundaries, okay? Okay, so practical ways to create healthy boundaries. Learn to say no. It's okay to say no. Even if you owe someone something and you feel obliged, you can still say no. I mean, you might look like a shitty person because you owe them, but you still can say no. Anything you do for another individual is completely your choice. Yeah? And when I started taking responsibility for myself, I stopped fucking yes man and motherfuckers and people pleasing motherfuckers, and I did exactly what I needed to do for myself, and anyone who got in the way, they can fuck off. Okay? Because in order for me to help others, I need to help myself first. When you're on that airplane and it's about to crash and those fucking oxygen string thingies come out, oxygen masks, yeah? They don't say put the fucking mask on the passenger next to you. They say put the mask on yourself first, then help other people. And that's what life needs to be like. Because if you don't help yourself first, you will not be able to withstand the dramas, problems, and hardships of trying to help another. You also won't be able to value and learn the lessons involved with helping another. Okay? You will walk away from trying to help another feeling drained, unable to figure out for yourself. You know what I mean? You don't have to get everything in your life perfect in order to help someone else. What you need to do is become stable and become strong within your boundaries within yourself. Your responsibilities, your truth, your authenticity, your everything about you has to be on a level where you're solid enough to be able to say no without affecting you. You have to be able to say yes, and then halfway through be able to say no if it gets too much. So you need to be on a place where you really navigated your own self enough, so you know yourself, so you know your limitations, so you don't overload yourself with someone else's shit. Okay? That's a very important one for boundaries. So learn to say no. Spend time alone to recharge. Alone time is beautiful. I love my alone time, you know? Don't spend too much alone time without anyone around, because you become a bit hermetized and a bit antisocial and a bit lost and even lonely. If your spirit craves spiritual, emotional, and physical and mental connection with other people and the universe and God. Okay, so you must find balance within all this. Balance is the key to everything, and everything is a spectrum. So if you can find balance on every spectrum, you've mastered life. I'll say it again. If you can find balance on every spectrum of your life, you've mastered life. Okay? 100%. That's what I believe. Okay, so limit the time with negative people. I understand that some people can't really eradicate negative people from their life and their energy, because some people have children to energy vampires. Some people have energy vampires and negative people in their own family that are close ones, that are friends from their childhood, or just friends that have helped you a lot, so you feel like you need to assist them. You don't need to do shit for anyone else. You need to do shit for yourself, and then choose to do shit for other people. Okay? And the more you limit your time with negative energy, the more you feel you can put your energy into things that are productive and they serve others. And you also feel like you can be authentic, because around negative people, unless you want to tell them to fuck off eventually because you get the shits with them draining you, because that's what happens. You get so drained, you end up saying, fuck off, idiot. Go away. Get out of my energy. Right? Because that's just, well, for me, I don't know, maybe I should take some communication classes or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty authentic. I don't like to sugarcoat shit. It's not how I was meant to be. It's not how I am. It's not me being authentic. And I love being authentic. It's a lot easier to be authentic. So when I get too drained from someone, I eventually either walk off or tell them to fuck off. And you don't want that, so you need to limit your time with negative, draining people. Okay? Now, turn your phone off when needed. Very important. When I'm going to my 12-step fellowship meetings, or when I'm doing this, for instance, my phone is on silent or it's off. Yeah. Well, usually I'm starting with the phone. I mean, I've only recently started that, last 2 days, to be honest. I'm not gonna act like I'm a professional at it, but I noticed that I need to turn that shit off when I'm engaging in other things, because the phone really distracts me, and then when I'm trying to put my focus back into something else, it uses a lot of energy to do that transfer of focus. So I have my phone on silent or off when I'm doing my videos, when I'm doing my meetings. Yeah. And another thing that's really helpful, okay, to keep your energy balanced and keep your energy rich and healthy energy within yourself, is to meditate daily. I can't say that enough. Meditate daily. Pray daily. Okay? And I'm not talking about praying to a religious deity. I'm not praying to no false church, really Satan worshipping evil fucking. All religion is fucking has nothing to do with spirituality, in my opinion. Nothing. Okay, the only thing I've ever seen religion do is create conflict, separation, and control. And massive amounts of fucking massacre in our history. So I don't think religion has fuck all to do with spirituality. Okay? That's just my opinion, each their own. Spend time in nature. That's beautiful. You know, to replenish your energy. See, the thing that most people don't know is that nature and animals, okay, they all transmute energy. When you touch nature, if you touch a tree and you focus your energy, this is a technique I do on a regular basis. If you focus your energy coming from your body, your negative energy that you've built up in your body, and you focus that flowing out from yourself while you're holding a tree and it flows into that tree, you will feel lighter. Your energy will feel less drained and you will feel replenished, because not only does nature and like flora and fauna, they transmute energy and they recharge your energy as well. You know, in my opinion, why dogs and cats, why they have fur and why they walk on four legs? They have fur so they can pick up the negative energy onto their aura, okay? And they have four legs so they can transmute that shit back into the ground. Just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. I don't think I fucking am, though. Okay, so just remember that stuff. But yeah, and another tool for recharging and transmuting negative energy and replenish yourself with positive energy is you walk out into the dirt or the grass or the sand that's in nature, and you envision where your feet are on the bare ground, roots growing from your feet into the ground as deep as you can imagine it, and it sucks out all of your negative energy and replenishes all good energy back in there. You feel really revitalized. Okay, that's something I do. It's my personal opinion once again. Could be wrong. I don't think I fucking am. And another thing that's really good is if you can, going out to the swimming in the ocean. That shit's mad. That's so good for you. The salt, the water, natural, a little bit polluted, no doubt, but what isn't polluted nowadays, you know? I mean, shit, we got you know, Bill Gates and his Microsoft company doing deals with Coca-Cola. So now when we drink Coca-Cola, there's fucking microparticles in it that fucking attach to our DNA and fucking, you know, leave us on a low frequency. No shit. It's fucking true. Yeah. So, you know, what isn't polluted nowadays? Don't drink Coca-Cola, people. Fucking don't drink it. Yeah. So, spend more time in nature. Journal your emotions. Now, the greatest way to halve your emotions is to talk with another about what's going on for you. Another way to make it easier to get your emotions out of yourself is to write them down in journal form. Yeah, I'm not perfect at this. I really struggle with writing stuff down. You know, if I'm going to write something, it's you know, straight into my phone that I write it, like my music lyrics and you know, my daily presentations that I do for this channel. They're all written on a digital device, but it's really the ceremony involved with journaling on a piece of paper with a pen is really healing. So I'm not saying I'm a professional at it, because I rarely do it, but what I'm saying is I know it to be very healing. Okay, shadow work also done that way is very healing, but you can do shadow work in multiple ways. You can do journaling in multiple ways. Okay, remember, everything is a spectrum. It's up to you to find your balance on every spectrum. Okay, now protect your sleep. Now, I'll tell you something about your pineal gland. Between the hours of 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., it produces something. I don't know what it's called. Okay, I'm real bad with names. Like, if I met you once or twice, I probably don't know your name, but I remember your face. Okay, I don't forget a face. I'm the same with labeled things like your pineal gland and the chemical it produces between these hours. But in order for it to produce it, it's not melatonin, is it? It's something that is involved with melatonin. Okay. Anyway, this chemical that's produced in your brain, in order for it to be fully produced at optimum rate for your body, I don't even know what the chemical does. I know it's important, but I can't remember what the fuck it does. Sorry, I've used drugs for many years. My brain's a bit, you know, but don't worry, I stopped the drugs and became responsible, law-abiding, member of society, and now I'm trying to give back. But yeah, what I was trying to say is this chemical is important for your body. It's important for your pineal gland, and it's important for a thing called a sacred secretion ritual. Right? I won't get into that. That's maybe for another video. But basically, this ingredient can only be produced properly in pitch black. So if you're sleeping with like me with a fucking nebula. I turned it off when I can remember, you know. But I'm not perfect. No one is, you know. But this is just me being me, you know. Yeah, so I sometimes sleep with a nebula on. If you don't know what nebula is, see that blue shit in the background? And that's coming from a little laser system. And that leaves light in the house, light in the room that I sleep in. And that there is a problem for me to produce the maximum amount of this chemical I need every day. And yeah, so just a thing to think about. You know, and that thing where they say, oh, you need to get 6 to 8 hours sleep, bullshit. You need 2 to 4 hours sleep with a 2 hour break, then 2 to 4 hours sleep. And the period between those 2 hours you're awake, when you're awake, you should do the things you're passionate about, the things you get creative with, because the transference between that sleep and this sleep is a gap where you're closer to the veil of dimensions. Yeah, that's my opinion. Yeah? I don't always do that, but that's what I've been taught is pretty accurate. And I've seen people go about their life's most successful endeavors, and it all become, you know, the things that they created were done in between that time period. You know, yeah, straight up. All right, so now remember, small boundaries create big changes, and remember this. If you don't respect yourself, you won't have boundaries. And if you don't have boundaries, other people will realize you don't respect yourself. And if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect someone else to respect you? Remember your purpose. Ask yourself often, does this move me closer to my higher self or further away from it? If something consistently pulls you away from your peace, it deserves your attention to probably fuck it off out of your life. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is walk away. Exactly. Mic drop. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so on that note, my final message today is you don't have to fight everyone. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You don't have to carry everyone else's problems. Protect your peace, protect your energy, protect your purpose. The stronger your energy becomes, the brighter your light shines. Another mic drop. Now, here we go again, my peeps. 3-point challenge, okay? Identify one thing that regularly drains your energy. Set one healthy boundary. So, I'll say that again. Identify one thing that regularly drains your energy and fuck it off. No, do what you want with it, but I suggest you fuck it off. Set one healthy boundary this week that you will put in place in your life. Spend at least 10 minutes every day doing something that generally recharges your spirit. Yeah? Now, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please leave a comment below and tell me what's one energetic boundary you're going to set this week. I'd love to hear your answer. And I believe that it's powerful if we share with the other chosen ones and Lightworkers, Star Seeds, and Earth Angels surrounding this area of boundaries, because it's hard. It's hard to create progress, and uphold boundaries, especially with ones we are close to us and that we love dearly. But they're important and they're imperative to our life's purpose. Outro to this. All right? If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Yeah. Also, check out my music. I'm Lightworker. My channel's Lightworker Music. I'll put in the link below. It's all about awakening, truth, personal transformation, and shining the light on evil motherfuckers that need to be held accountable, no doubt. And if you like to support the movement, visit Lightworker Empire Store. I'll put that in the link below. Keep awakening, keep aligning, keep ascending. We as chosen ones are shutting down the fucking matrix. Peace.